कुछ और स्टॉक्स पे कहां हो रही है तेजी मंदी ये तो जानेंगे, लेकिन परेश सुक्थानकर इस वक्त HDFC बैंक के नतीजों पर जानकारी दे रहे हैं मीडिया को। आइए सीधे चलते हैं वहीं।
Sort of gone from 18,862 to 21,560 crores. Net revenues have grown by 21.1% to reach 12,501 crores. As you know, the largest component of net revenues tends to be net interest income, which is approximately 73% of net revenues. Net revenue growth was again at 21.5% and went from 7,450 crores to 9,055 crores. This NII growth was driven by average asset growth of a little over 19% and a net interest margin which bounced back quite sharply to a core NIM of 4.3%. Other income, which constitutes 27.6% of net revenues, grew by 20.3% to touch 2,865 crores. The largest component of other income tends to be fees and commissions, which grew by 16% from 2,172 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year to 2,523 crores. Moving on to operating expenses. Operating expenses were, in terms of growth, were held back, and with a growth of 13.9%, which touched 5,220 crores in terms of operating expenses. The cost-to-income ratio for the quarter was 42.4% as against 44.9% for the corresponding quarter of last year. Provisions and contingencies were up. They were at 1,262 crores as against 662 crores. So that was an increase which I'm sure all of you would have noted. So let me spend a minute on that. So if you look at it, whether you look at it year on year or you look at it on a sequential quarter basis, provisions were up about 550 crores, for instance, on a sequential basis. Of that 550 crores of increase in provisions sequentially, 270 crores were on account of general provisions for standard assets. And that reflected the strong almost 60,000 crore increase in advances during this quarter. So again, of the 550 growth sequentially in provisions, 270, which is pretty much half, came from the increase in general provisions. Of the balance, again, about 100 crores is the spillover impact of what would have been provisions on the NPLs which got spilt over from the previous quarter into this quarter because of the dispensation relating to demonetization which was permitted by the RBI in the last quarter. And therefore, when you look at it on a comparative basis between that is the sequential quarter, the December quarter and this quarter, if you sort of push that back 100, then of that balance 250, 270 crores, actually the gap narrows to about 70, 80 crores, which is about a 15% increase. So was there a 15% net adjusted increase on a sequential basis? Yes. But it gets exaggerated by the large increase in the general provisions, which is a result of the loan growth, and the fact that there was this dispensation for small loans less than 1 crore, which meant that about 240 crores of NPLs which did not get recognized spilled over into this quarter, and there would have been about 100 crore provisioning relating to that.
प्रोविजन के डिटेल यहाँ पर खास तौर पे HDFC बैंक के नतीजों पर मैनेजमेंट की ओर से हमें मिल रहे हैं, और अगर आप देखें तो आज HDFC बैंक पे नतीजों के बाद लॉन्ग बनते हुए नजर आए हैं। कैश मार्केट में भी देखिए